welcome everyone. My name's Megan. I am the founder of Strategic Style Company. We are in my home. That's Nala. Today we're doing the first episode of Strategic Styles podcast, which is called Fight Club for Women. And I'm really excited about this, new era for strategic style. We've done a lot with Beehive newsletters, we've done a lot with X Spaces, we've done a lot on LinkedIn, and I think Fight Club for Women is the perfect segue for us to kind of grow into our natural state of fighting these like bad habits, routines, goals, challenges, and trying to reach those accomplishments and trying to reach those accomplishments that are on the list of things for us to do. Strategic Style Company is really about having your own type of system, your own strategy, living your life strategically, but with your own style. So, what that means for me is that I have to figure out what it is that I want to do when I want to wind down from work. I work 8 hours. I'm a remote worker. That means I work from home and I'm actually a paralegal. I work at a law firm. So I'm on the computer a lot. But strategic style company also means I'm on the computer a lot. So I really have to figure out a way to rest my eyes. So I go to the gym. I will say I'm not perfect at going to the gym. I'm trying my absolute hardest to be a gym girly, but it's not easy, okay? And making changes are not easy. Making hard decisions are not easy. And sometimes those hard decisions affect what we would do normally, our everyday routines. We have to make those decisions to be disciplined and want to make progress towards our goals. So, why don't we get started with first talking about the newsletter? So I have the newsletter here. If you scan the QR code, click the picture, you should be able to see our latest strategic style newsletter. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the website real quick, just in case it doesn't flow correctly. I'm hoping it does because I've worked really hard to try and make it so user friendly, but things happen. So this is the website, all right? And the website is going to give you everything strategic style. We are talking about the worthiness of success and mastering your health, leveraging what I said your own strategy system was in order to achieve your dreams, and all with your own style. So, first thing I want to go to is the top articles. So we have here one of the best articles Strategic Style Company has come out with, and that's how to protect your energy in crisis when bad things happen. So when you click this, and you'll see that I wrote this one on February 2nd, which is actually pretty recent, but it's gotten some good rates on it. Beehive has been able to give me some analytics and some feedback on how my newsletter posts are doing. And this was one that was really popular. So I thought I'd put it here front and center for everyone else to read when they come to my website. These other, it'll also ask you if you want to subscribe to the newsletter to put your email in here. And if not, no worries, maybe later. This was a recent endeavor, which was the bucket list. It's still going on. It's still a tag that I really want to expand on within Strategic Style Company. I started actually with purchasing a vehicle on a strict budget and trying to get no payments. I wasn't successful at that, but I did get a car. So that's there if you want to read that. And that was actually earlier this month. I also wrote about relationships that don't deserve your energy. and using the 80/20 principle rule for those relationships. The last one here is where to put your first $1,000 for growth and investing for impatient empire builders. So these were all top articles of February. We're going to move on to the team. What is team? So, strategic style often allows people who are mentors, who are creatives, who are people that want to write and use their skills to talk about things that are important to them. One of those people, you might know her, is Ani H. That's what she likes to go by. These are her social media links. So if you're ever in the team tab, go ahead and click on her links. It'll go straight to her social media account. So this is her X profile. She's monetized on X. She does a super good job at teaching people how to monetize on X. She gets major engagement and she's doing really big things. This team page will also feature myself as the founder and the person who writes most of the newsletter posts. And then we also have Misfits and Nomads, which is a super cool community that I've been a part of on X. It is founded by Power, who's actually creating a super awesome thing for creatives on X right now, but he's looking to expand and he really is doing some cool things with interviews, meeting and networking with people. And I just really enjoy his spaces and the topics that he has in those spaces and the people that I get to meet as well. If you scroll to the top, these are some of the topics that we talk about. If you click on Fight Club for Women, Ani H, Misfits and Nomads, you will actually be taken to all of those specific newsletter posts. So, Fight Club for Women, this doesn't have too many, I think, but these are all the newsletter posts that were specifically written for the topic of Fight Club for Women. So we last week had an X Space live on this topic, when he sees a bestie and not a babe. It was super cool. We had some men in the room who shared some really insightful observations, perspectives, point of views, and it was a good time. We had some really great conversation. Today we'll actually be talking a little bit more about the idea of a power pivot or life pivot in your career. Do you stay stuck in the job that you have, or should you pivot? So we'll tap into that in a little bit. I did want to show you the rest of the website. If you ever want to start your own Beehive newsletter, this is going to be the greatest opportunity for you. You click on this box here, you'll receive a 30-day trial and 20% off for 3 months to start your own Beehive newsletter and monetize your emails. So if you ever consider that, go ahead and use my discount link for that special pricing. This next tab is the shop. So, Strategic Style Membership has a club. We welcome members to our private community where we will have weekly strategy calls, exclusive resources, and a lifetime access. If you join today, it's only $150 a month. If you join for a year, this is the annual pricing. It's actually a 15% discount if you do annually. But if you want to just try it out for a month, you're more than welcome to pay $150. These are the benefits we have. So you're going to get access to my community, Misfits and Nomads on X. You're going to get access to my community on TikTok and on YouTube. Your access will also include an optional support pool. It'll have a jersey, which is what we call the logo with your choice of color, that you can use to support the community with. You'll have access to me on a personal level through monthly team meetings. I'll also check in with you. We will be accountability partners. A spot on the newsletter team. So, this newsletter team tab where you saw Ani and Misfits and Nomads, you will get a spot to write on the newsletter, including your name, tag, and how often you want to post. But overall, you'll get access to my mentors and knowledge in business and creative initiatives. I think I have to fix the partner with me tab. But the last tab is archive. Archive is every single newsletter I have ever written, Ani has ever written, Power will ever write. So that is the Strategic Style company website. I've given you the rundown. It took about 5 minutes or so. So I apologize on that. But um, if you guys are interested in reading a little bit about my journey in sales to the legal industry, you are more than welcome to read the newsletter here. I also want to invite you to our Discord, Fight Club for Women Discord. It's actually going to be called Strategic Style Club, but if you are interested specifically in joining the women in the Fight Club, go ahead and click here. That's the invite link to get into the Discord. You can also join my community on X. It's completely free and we have a good time with our members. It's actually very fun. We talk about some really cool things, and I highly recommend coming to the community. On a better note and back to the topic, I want to talk a little bit about the newsletter that I wrote. The strategic power, the strategic work of building a new career path while in a job that doesn't fulfill you. So, going back to my start of a career, which I would consider probably my life after college, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Even before college, I don't think I really had a huge understanding about what I wanted to do with my life professionally. Like, I think a lot of people in life, they have parents who are successful at something, and maybe they take over the family business, or they have parents who do something that they want to do. And so for me, it was my mom. My mom worked, she was like an admin assistant for a company in a specific type of industry. She didn't stay there. Um, you know, as I'm an adult, she moved on to different industries, but she really inspired me to just really want to be in an office. I don't know how to explain it, but I would like play office. I don't know if anyone's ever done that when they were kids, like play office where you set up your desk. Like, I loved my desk when I was younger. Me and my sister shared a room. We had like bunk beds that were like risen, like it rose from the ground, and then underneath you could put like your desk, you could put like things, you could hang out under it, and we put our desk. So I had like a big metal industrial desk. My dad was a trash man, so we had a lot of cool things growing up. You know, he would find things that were actually very decently maintained, or like they looked nice, and he would bring it home and be like, surprise. So one of those things was my desk, and I would draw on it. I had like inspirational quotes. I had my boombox right in the front so I could listen to my music real loud. I had these drawers that had all my crap in it. Oh, I love that desk so much. Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps from just talking about this because I really enjoyed spending time at my desk. I might even cry. Oh my god, I'm crying over a desk. Pull it together, Meaghan. I think, I'm getting emotional about it because those were really, oh my god. I'm really getting emotional. Um, those were really great times in my life. Playing Office. um, so yeah, I would play Office, take my mom's old mail, and pretend like we were in the office. I was typing, I was stapling, was hole punching. And so those were really fun times, and me and my sister would have a ball doing that. So I always knew I wanted to like work in an office environment. And like little did I know the world was going to have remote work. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody really expected the world. I mean, I guess to an extent, like some people worked from home, but like it wasn't a normal thing. Like it wasn't super logical or easy to get a remote job. And me and my dad would always talk. We'd be like, we need to get a remote job. We need you to get a remote job. Because I had so much workplace drama for no reason. Like, I don't know what it is, but like people really like, you know, mm. So I finally got the remote job. But back to, I'm like all over the place. I'm so sorry. Back to high school. Before I applied to colleges, I knew I wanted to go to college. I actually really wanted to major in music. At the time, I was very active on my church um, worship team. I enjoyed singing, with my family, my sister, but that's actually not what majoring in music means. Majoring in music means you need to know how to read music. You can probably sing very well. And yeah, it just wasn't like really ideal for me. So I actually, when I went to college, didn't have a good idea of what I wanted to do. So I did, I think it's called like when you don't major, undecided. So I just worked on like my gen eds, was undecided for a year. And then I went to sociology. Sociology is not for the weak, okay? They do a lot of research. It was interesting in the way that we talked about things that really kind of mattered because we were always being social and always around people, groups of people. It was like observing, there was like a little bit of like culture to it. So I really enjoyed sociology, but I don't know that that was the right route for me either because it was a lot of research. It was a lot of like research papers and definitions. And there wasn't really much to a future in sociology. I actually had a professor tell me that sociology really means you either do a lot of research or you become a teacher. So I was like, two things I don't want to do. And then I was actually talking to my mom when I realized like sociology might not be the one for me. I was talking to my mom and she basically told me like, girl, you've been a business girly. You have been playing office your whole life. You like to be an entrepreneurial type of person. You are a business boss babe, okay? So I went into business and business admin at that. Like even with that, I wasn't super specific. And I think when I have kids or if I have kids or if I have nieces and nephews, I'm going to, and even with friends or like young adults that I know, like I highly encourage people to really think about what they can visualize themselves doing in the future. I have a sister who's going to be a senior next year. And, to be honest, I'm not sure what she would like to do. I know she's super passionate about sports, right? So she's so good at playing softball, and it's possible that she would also really enjoy something within the sports segment, like where maybe she's doing sports medicine, or maybe she's doing sports management, sports marketing, sports this, so I think she would do really good in that. But I was doing things, right? But like I couldn't see myself in the future with it. And so here we are today. After college, I immediately went into sales. What is sales? Well, sales is the easiest thing that you could possibly do with your life after college. You know why? Because they will accept you into that position with a snap of your fingers, and they will be so glad you did it. Honestly, they will be like, oh, this is going to be the best job of your life. And it damn well might be. It might be, because you get commission checks, you get training. I don't know any sales job who doesn't have a training for you. So they try to set you up for success, but it's really subjective because you are the person doing it. You make it work. You make it happen. If you're not putting in the work, then the commission checks are not coming. You're not selling things, and they're going to let you go. Sorry to say, but they do not care. They're like, well, we gave you the training. We have the product. Go do your thing. If you're not doing it, then bye-bye. So I learned that. I was always getting laid off, and I realized, like, I think it's because I keep doing these sales jobs. And I was starting to be like, what job's gonna take me the quickest? I even was dating a guy who was like, when I got laid off, like, you need to get another job really quick. And I'm like, I don't know what I want to do, and I know I don't like doing what I'm doing. So like those, like, for example, sales jobs, they will bring you in immediately, like, you want to start tomorrow, we'll start you today. But a future is something you really have to take your time with. So what I learned is that the best thing I could have did for myself was really try to narrow down and figure out not only what I was good at, but what I was good at and liked doing. Because I was good at sales, but I didn't like doing it. And why didn't I like doing that? Well, I didn't like having to stand in front of people and talking to them face to face and trying to convince them to buy something. Because one, I am not the greatest person when it comes to like not showing emotion on my face. And two, I try really hard to be persuasive, let's call it. But like, let's be real. I am a real chick. Okay. So like, I am not good at like being indirect. Like, I'm not good at lying. I'm not good at like saying one thing and it not actually being it. So I struggled sometimes with companies that were not producing good products. The I struggled with like the secret discounts and stuff. And I was like, I don't like this. So I realized I do like talking to people. I do like being able to help people solve a problem, but it's the way that I do it that really matters. That really will help me to feel satisfied and happy with the career that I have. So I did some research. I started to tap into a lot of things that would help me really narrow down what I was trying to create within my life, the career that I really felt would make me happy, because I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy at the time. I am going to show you a worksheet that we actually sell on the Strategic Style website. And it's going to help you find your strengths. Is this it? One second. It's going to help you find your strengths, and it's going to be super helpful. Okay. So let's share my screen. This is what I call the creative strengths the creative strengths worksheet. And what it does is help you find things that you're good at that you like doing. So the first thing to do is find your creative tasks. So things that you do creatively could be podcasting, creative writing, newsletter, creating captions, recording content, and consider it to either be something you don't like, you don't really not like, or do like, but it's cool, and things that you absolutely love. Quick strength discovery. So, consider these 4 questions. What activities make you feel most energized? When do you feel most creative? What unique talents have others complimented? What would you do for free? And I think these questions are really important, because I think a lot of the times when we're thinking about things that we want in a career, a lot of the time it leads back to money. And these questions really tap into things that are going to make you a servant leader, a creative leader, and a happy leader, because you're thinking about things that are going to make you feel energized, going to make you feel creative, going to have compliments coming your way, and what you would actually do for free. I don't think many people think about those things. What is your primary creative strength? So, from that information that we started with, we're going to identify our main strength. Describe how it manifests in your work. So, you're going to want to use your own personal tasks, things that you do, experiences and insights, and make this worksheet a way to personalize your creative journey. Next step is going to be your action items. So, this is where you're going to leverage those strengths. How will you use your strength more often? What new project can you start using this strength? Who can you collaborate with to maximize this strength? And it's as simple as that. It's as simple as this worksheet here, to figuring out what your strengths are. And what I would recommend is, when you do this worksheet, take that strength, put it into ChatGPT, and ask Chat, what can I do with this strength professionally? What kind of jobs does society offer that allows me to use this strength? And do your research. Do the research on those specific jobs, whether or not you would like that industry, and try it out. I actually, in the newsletter, I talk about using a hiring agency. I 100% feel that was the best route for me, because one, I was able to do actually my last sales job, which was like a customer service job, and we would get commissions based on the people that we forwarded to loan officers. So I wasn't necessarily selling anything aside from like the interaction. I was selling the interaction of me and the customer being on the phone and showing and making them feel that they can trust me and I believe in the person that I'm going to transfer them to, which was the loan officer. So I highly recommend hiring agencies. Um, Maybe you don't know if you don't like your job, and maybe that is the first job that you try with the hiring agency. Tell them, hey, I've been, working sales for a long time and I just need a job right now to pay my bills, but I want to keep my options open and I don't want to do this forever. And in that time that you're not doing this forever, but you're doing your job, do that research, try to figure out how you're going to use your strengths to pivot your career into a more happy, peaceful, successful career. And then what we're going to do is have the hiring agency connect you with people so that you can get your foot in the door. For me, it was legal offices, it was law firms. I was looking for admin assistant jobs. I was looking for any company with admin. There was no specific industry because I didn't know, what industry I wanted to be in, but I knew I wanted to get out of sales and I wanted to do something in business, most likely admin work to start at step one. And once I realized, hey, I kind of like this admin job, I'm going to figure out how to be better at the admin job and what I can do to elevate myself in that career. Career is not the only thing that you pivot from in life. Can pivot from relationships, friendships, all kinds of things, and I chose to talk about the career, but I'm really interested in hearing what you might have pivoted in life from. And are you feeling stuck? Are you willing to put your happiness first and pivot yourself onto a route that's best for your peace of mind, for your mental health? I think for a long time I felt like I'm stuck because I've been doing this for so many years. How can I stop doing it and take time to do something totally different? But it was probably the best thing I ever did for myself. And not gonna lie, there were a lot of people, that questioned me and my pivot, but you never know until you try. So I'm going to end it there. I really am so thankful, for the blessings that God has given me. And I really encourage you all to try and think of things that you are good at and that you love doing in order to be happy. Whether that's in a career, in a hobby, in a relationship, in a dinner option, I don't know, but put yourself first, read the article, join the Discord, and maybe even meet up on X. We are having a space right now. I'm a little late to it, but these people are awesome. The community that I have is awesome, and I really hope that you can experience them and that you really enjoy talking or listening to this podcast. So we're going to end it here. Please don't forget to, sorry, I just hit the mic. Sorry about that. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I want to hear about the things that you're pivoting from. You guys take care. Bye.